this is Debbie Lacken from Kids Around Dogs. Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying watching my videos here on YouTube. Today I'm reviewing a new book by a lovely photographer called Dania Gollowitzer. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but she's really lovely. I've met Diane at many different events. The latest one was probably a Pact in Pact 2025, October, at the conference. You might know or not that every so often we have stand at various conferences or events. So that's where I often get to meet lots of people, and hopefully some of you as well. So Diane sent me a message not long ago to say that she had published a book, and it's a bit of a different book from what I expected, actually. So this is the book, in fact, and it's called Love Letter to My Muzzled Dog. Now, when she told me the title, I actually thought that she had written letters, almost like a diary, if you like, to her dog. But actually, it's, if possibly, it's a little bit more lovely than this. She got in touch with, I believe, many of her clients. Like I said, she's a photographer. Many of her clients whose dog wear a muzzle for a reason or another. And she asked them to write a letter to their dog who wears a muzzle. And some of these letters are really moving, really sweet. The photos in it are obviously incredible. Diane is a great photographer, as I mentioned. So all of the photos in the book are taken by her. And like I said, the stories are written by various dog guardians whose dog are wearing muzzles. What I particularly like is that we know how misunderstood dogs can be. Dogs who wear muzzles can be, particularly them, I suppose. Very often, someone sees a dog who wears a muzzle and freaks out, thinking, the dog is dangerous, the dog is going to bite you and all that stuff. And mind you, yes, sometimes some dogs need to wear a muzzle for that reason. I'm not saying that that's not the case. However, most of the time, actually, is for other reasons. Probably the biggest one, the one that I think upsets me the most, is when they have to wear a muzzle because of the breed that the government has decided that they're bad breeds, so they shouldn't be allowed to be without a muzzle. And any dog in that category, or that size, or that look, if you like, falls under the category of the banned breed. Therefore, they need to wear a muzzle. And it's really sad because those dogs might have absolutely zero reasons to wear it. Then you have dogs that need some more training in life, and in the meantime, they're wearing a muzzle so they don't eat things they shouldn't be eating, pick up stuff they shouldn't be picking up, and things like this. And I'm not just talking maybe about the occasional dirty tissue. I'm talking about things that could potentially be dangerous for them, such as gums, for example, which are bad for dogs. They might also be, if you like, impartial to some other dogs or other animals. How should we call it politely? Poo. Just poo. Just call it as it is. So a lot of dogs, some dogs eat poo, so there you go, a muzzle will stop them from doing that. Not only the thing is disgusting, obviously, but it can make them ill. If your dog is one of them, they eat poo, just so you know, very often can also be a lack of some minerals, some vitamins in their diet, and therefore they look for it in there. And sometimes it also becomes a habit. So yeah, by wearing the muzzle, you prevent that problem from happening, but you still need to train the dog not to pick up everything inside. Then you have dogs that wear a muzzle, maybe because, say, they had an operation, for example, or they have the habit of maybe chewing part of their body due to stress-related things. But it could also be like a skin condition, therefore like health-related. And again, in that case, yes, the muzzle is really good to prevent that from happening, stop it from happening. But you're not going to solve the problem with that. So you're still having to get to the cause that is making your dog licking that part, chewing that part, so that they can sort themselves out. So you want to look into that. Sometimes it can even be on a more neurological level. It can even be due to kind of OCD kind of stuff. So you need to, again, make sure that that problem is addressed and the dog is helped with that specific thing. But the muzzle is helping in the meantime to stop him from doing so. And some dog guardian, some humans, they just want their dogs to be trained to have a muzzle. I have trained Winnie to wear a muzzle. I must say, because she doesn't need it, sometimes I kind of forget to redo the training a little bit. It's good to wear a muzzle for the dog to be trained for that, to be safe. What if, God forbid, what if one day it gets lost, for example, and someone finds it, and maybe that someone could be the warden or something? They might put the muzzle on the dog, not being sure of what the dog is like. So then, if that's the case, your dog already will be trained for that, and it's so much better, less stressful, safer for everyone. Also because, again, we don't know when things happen. What if something happens to your dog that makes him or her become reactive, negatively reactive to something? If he's already muzzle trained, then you kind of can skip a step, if you like. So it's quite nice. To go back to the book then, Diane wanted to put a lot of love into this book by using the words of others that feel the way she felt and the way a lot of people feel for their dog. A lot of love. And they can see how the muzzle might make people think differently of their dog, make them feel also differently, or being seen differently by society. And this can be very upsetting. This book portrays many different dogs, different size, different breeds, beautiful in that respect as well. And I thought I'd read you maybe one of the letters that really moved me the most, I think, and I shall read that to you. This letter is to Athena, an XL bully. To my Athena, you have always been the gentlest soul, a big softy with a love for grass snacking, stick chasing, and endless games of fetch. You never needed a muzzle. You have never shown anything but calm, playful affection. But because of a label, because of a law, you wear one now. And yet you carry it with such grace. If I'm honest, it's not the muzzle that breaks my heart, it's the lead. You used to run free, stretch those strong legs, chase your ball with pure joy. Now the freedom is gone. And I know you feel it. I see it in the way you look at the field, the ball you no longer carry, the sticks you once loved. It's making me cry again. The word's reaction hurts too. Before other dogs came running, tails wagging, ready to play. Now they cross the street. People pull their dogs away from you, as if the muzzle means danger instead of compliance. They don't see you, the same sweet girl you've always been, but I see you. You're still my good girl, still goofy, still gentle, still full of love. And you still light up my life every single day. People might shout, they might judge, but they don't know your story, and they don't deserve a say in it. You're not your muzzle. You're not a label. You're my Athena, pure, kind, and deeply loved. Always with you, your proud mum. This, oh my gosh, I'm in tears. This letter is so moving. And it's like the second time I'm reading it now, or the third time, and it still gets me going. I think you really see the love of this human for her dog, and it breaks my heart in so many ways, because I know just how wrong that law is. And an example is this letter, this family effectively with Athena and her human. So this book definitely gets the Kids Around Dogs seal of approval. And why does it? Simply because I really do think that children need to know what a muzzle is, what it means to wear a muzzle. That is nothing bad, as in a dog is not a bad dog just because he wears a muzzle. There are many reasons for it. And that doesn't mean going up to any dog that wears a muzzle. It doesn't mean that as well. but they can be considered just like any other dog out there. I do hope that parents, they might come across this book, or children themselves that come across this book, will read it and take it with that love and respect that all those humans and their dogs deserve. So Diane, thank you very much for sharing this beautiful book with me, and it's definitely now a CAD approved book.
And kids around dogs, we're gonna make it okay.